I am Sarah Golden, VP of Climate Tech here at Trellis Group, and I'm joined at the live stream stage with Sean Daley, who is Director of Consulting at Sphera. Sean, welcome to the live stream.
Thanks, Sarah. Pleasure to be back at GreenBiz.
Quickly, what is Sphera? What do you do?
Yeah, so Sphera is a software data and consulting organization that provides customers with a lot of software and advisory services around sustainability and operational success.
And I know sustainability is just increasingly a focus of organizations with stakeholder demands and also reporting, regulatory reporting, as well as voluntary reporting. And so I'm curious of what like an integrated approach could look like when organizations are looking at the Scope 3.
Yeah, so, I mean, organizations and companies are getting hit by all sides for requests for this type of information, right? And not only from customers, but regulators as well, right? So more and more regulation coming online to be able to demonstrate that you are committed to decarbonization, that you're transparent in your climate disclosures, right? So there's a couple ways that we orient around this. So at its core, you need to be able to set a benchmark that you can anchor around, that you can then set decarbonization goals and targets and identify opportunities to improve your operations. That kind of translates into ongoing monitoring and the ability to roll that out ultimately for disclosure and reporting. So the way we do it at Sphera and the way that we help our customers and clients is really to help them look at it at 4 different levels, because data is a huge challenge with this. So the more data that you need, the more you need to take more of an integrated approach across your operation, right? So at the highest level, we've got the enterprise level data. And that's kind of roll-up data to use to be able to do these reports and these disclosures, right? But below that, you got operational data. That's the day-to-day activity that goes on at, say, your retail location or your healthcare facility or your restaurant, whatever the case may be, right? And that's more kind of day-to-day energy and things like that. Below that, you've got product level data. And that's really interesting because things like product carbon footprinting and LCA can impact and inform your Scope 3 inventory, both upstream and downstream, understanding the impacts of those products, their use phase, et cetera. And then finally, you've got the supply chain level, which is casting a wide net out and requires a lot of engagement and a lot of different types of data to collect. It's a challenge, right? So then what we do is we're able to bring some solutions to bear to help facilitate that and get people engaged. And that's both internally and externally. So in an internal perspective, and we talked about all these different layers, right? So it's no longer something that just one department can do. Just the small sustainability team cannot be successful without engagement across their own organization. That translates out into the value chain as well. So it's a big tent operation these days, and it takes a lot of effort. So we bring our corporate sustainability software to bear to be able to collect that at the highest level, at the operational level, our environmental accounting, at the product level, our LCA software and expertise, and then at the supply chain level, engagement tools around supply chain sustainability, all aided and embedded by our sustainability consulting, which helps provide the strategy there.
And I love that multi-level approach. It just, there's so much confusion around Scope 3 that really includes everything. And so having the ability to break it down like that seems incredibly valuable. I'm curious how you're thinking that companies should be approaching Scope 3 reporting and regulations. And I'm thinking specifically around CSRD and also the California climate disclosure laws that are coming down the pike.
Yeah, so I mean, I think if there's one thing that I can stress, start now, get started, don't wait. This is not something where, whether it's you can kick the can down the road or things outside in the world related to administrations and things like that are going to really be able to impact at the end of the day. Like, people need to get started now if they're not. It takes collaboration, as I said before, and engagement. Really the idea is like start getting prepared and start thinking through the people that you need to engage within your organization to get the ownership over data and be able to kind of bring that all together. If you need advice, seek it now. I mean, we're on the clock. It's 2026 is when the first round of some of these disclosures come online. So if you're not already kind of 2 steps down the road, 3 steps down the road, seek out advice to be able to kind of catch up.
Yeah, and of course, this isn't an exercise in accounting. It is an exercise in reducing emissions, and we only have, about 30 seconds left. But at a high level, where should companies be starting to actually be reducing emissions associated with Scope 3?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, it's kind of supply chain and products, right? So it's the products that you're making and buying, right? So leveraging tools like LCA and LCA data to be able to kind of understand the impact and make design for environment decisions. Engaging suppliers to ensure that you're capturing the various data points that you need to kind of comply with these regulations, and really kind of influencing and creating partnerships to be able to kind of pull on the same rope together, these mutually beneficial relationships where you're helping them decarbonize, they're helping you decarbonize. And because at the end of the day, we all need to remind ourselves that this is a mutual, kind of environment that we're going to be able to decarbonize and make a better impact.
Well, Sean Daley, thank you so much for joining me here today at the GreenBiz live stream.